What's this?
Are you sure you want to do this? You always wanted to be a maester.
I'm tired of reading about the achievements of better men.
Mr. Fall was quite the opposite, a brilliant stylist who invented half the stories he tells.
I wanted to ask
If you're going to write histories, Tarly, you have to do the research. If you want people to read your histories, you need a bit of style. I'm not writing a chronicle of the wars following the death of King Robert I, so it can sit on a shelf unread. What? You don't like the title? What would you call it, then?
possibly something a bit more poetic.
We're not poets, Tarly.
A song of ice and fire. Archmaester Ebro's history of the wars following the death of King Robert. I helped him with the title.
What are you doing?
You're Jorah Mormont, the only son of Jorah Mormont. My name is Samwell Tarly, sworn brother of the Night's Watch, training to serve as maester at Castle Black. I knew your father. I was with him when he died. You're not dying today, Sir Jorah.
Who told you to treat him?
No one.
Who forbade you or anyone to attempt to treat him?
I seem to remember you.
But you treated him anyway.
I did, yes.
I forbade it because it is dangerous and rarely successful, especially on someone of that age. You could have infected yourself and others. You could have devastated the entire Citadel. But you didn't. It's a meticulous, difficult procedure. Many maesters whose chains are heavy with healing links have attempted it and failed. But you succeeded. How?
I read the book and followed the instructions.
That man is alive because of you. You should be proud.
I suppose I come in for some heavy criticism.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, he's kind to me. Never would have guessed. He's not kind.
He
what? What does he say about me?
I don't believe you're mentioned.
You once said that without me, the city would have faced certain defeat. You said the histories would never mention me, but you would not forget. Have you forgotten, Lord Varys?
Sadly, my lord, I never forget a thing.
Your Grace.
Your Grace.
Your Grace.
Your Grace.
We appear to be missing a Master of Whisperers, and a Master of Laws, and a Master of War.
Yes, Your Grace. Suitable prospects will be brought to you for an audience in the coming weeks.
And Drogon? Any word?
He was last spotted flying east to
Farther away, the better.
Perhaps I can find him. Do carry on with the rest.
As you wish, Your Grace.
Sir Podrick. You want to be a night pod?
Yes.
Starting tomorrow, we'll train with the sword twice a day. Before we ride in the morning and after we make camp in the evening. And I'm going to show you how to ride properly.
Thank you.
I can't knight you, but I can teach you how to fight.
I suppose that's more important.
Sir Brienne of Tarth defeated the Hound. Pardon me, Lady Brienne.
She's not a sir. You're not the knight.
Women can't be knights.
Why not?
Tradition.
Fuck tradition.
I don't even want to be a knight.
I'm no king, but if I were, I'd knight you 10 times over.
You don't need a king. Any knight can make another knight. I'll prove it. Kneel.
There's something else, my lord. A man... I didn't know his face. He came to ask if I'd testify against you. Said I'd be named Sir Podrick Payne if I told the judges you'd bought a poison called the Strangler.
Sir Podrick Payne? That's a nice ring to it. What did you tell him?
I didn't tell them anything, my lord.
Are you going to accept their offer?
My lord.
Testifying against me wasn't a suggestion. If they can't tempt you with honey, they'll choose something less sweet.
You've been good to me, my lord.
Pod, the trial's in a fortnight. They'll want an answer before that.
Already gave them an answer, my lord.
I will not have you dying on my behalf. Do you hear me? If I have to take that long walk to the executioner's block, I don't want to see your head already mounted.
My lord.
Pod, I am giving you an order. Go and find my brother and tell him I need him. And get yourself out of King's Landing before it's too late.
It's the duty of the Lord Commander to fill those pages. And there's still room left on mine. Lady Brienne. In the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. In the name of the Father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the Mother, I charge you to defend the innocent. Arise, Brienne of Tarth, a knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
We serve at your pleasure, King Bran the Broken, ruler of the Six Kingdoms and protector of the realm. Long may he reign.
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 That will improve.
I'm sure it will.
Pod! This is farewell.
Farewell.
Pod. There has never lived a more loyal squire.
Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
You're no knight.
Pod?
Sir Bronn of the Blackwater was anointed by the king himself.
Lord of High God and Lord Paramount of the Reach.
If you want me to kill the mountain for you, it better be a damn big castle.
I'm a bit short on costs at the moment, but I can offer you gold in gratitude.
I have gold. What can I buy with gratitude?
You might be surprised. A Lannister always pays his debts.
We made a deal long ago, do you remember?
If anyone offered me money to kill you, you'd pay me double.
What's Double River Run?
Highgarden. You could be Lord of the Reach.
Highgarden, are you mad?
It's better than being dead.
He's not going to kill us. He wouldn't be talking to us.
The way I see it, I only need one of the Lannister brothers alive.
Highgarden will never belong to a cutthroat.
No? Who were your ancestors? The ones who made your family rich? Fancy lads in silk? They were fucking cutthroats. That's how all the great houses started, isn't it? With a hard bastard who was good at killing people. Kill a few hundred people, they make you a lord. Kill a few thousand, they make you king. And then, all your cocksucking grandsons can ruin the family with their cocksucking ways. Highgarden. Give me your word.
You have my word.
If I gave you the choice between fucking Lollis and fighting the Mountain, you'd have your britches down and your cock up before I could blink.
Does he frighten you so much?
I'd be a bloody fool if he didn't frighten me. He's freakish big and freakish strong. And quicker than you'd expect for a man of that size. Maybe I could take him. Dance around until he's so tired of hacking at me, he dropped his sword. Get him off his feet somehow. But one misstep, and I'm dead. Why should I risk it?
Because you're my friend.
Aye, I'm your friend. And when have you ever risked your life for me? I like you. Pampered little shit that you are. I just like myself more.
I understand.
I'm sorry it has to be this way.
Why are you sorry? Because you're an evil bastard with no conscience and no heart? That's what I liked about you in the first place.
We had some good days together.
Yes, we did.
What will you do?
I suppose I'll have to kill the Mountain myself. Won't that make for a great song?
I hope to hear them sing it one day.
Parent of the Reach and Master of Coin. Would you say the Crown's debt to you has been paid?
In full, my Lord Hand.
Good. Time to start incurring a new one. We have hungry people to feed. Can we expect some assistance in this regard?
Indeed we can.
Fully agreed. Which is why I'm naming you new Master of Coin.
Master of Coin.
It would appear to be a position that best suits your talents.
I'm quite good at spending money, but a lifetime of outrageous wealth hasn't taught me much about managing it.
I have no doubt you will prove equal to this challenge.
Here, here.
Poof. Mountains of gold.
Let me guess. He's not a magician.
No.
He's stealing it?
Worse, he's borrowing it.
What's wrong with that?
We can't afford to pay it back. That's what's wrong with it. The Crown owes millions to my father.
Seeing as it's his grandson's ass on the throne, I imagine he'll forgive that debt.
Forgive a debt. My father. For a man of the world, you're strangely naive.
I've never borrowed money before. I'm not clear on the rules.
Well... Any advice for me on my new position?
Keep a low profile.
If I had a gold dragon, for every time I heard that joke, I'd be richer than you are.
Well, you are richer than I am.
Good point.
They're only numbers. Numbers on paper. Once you understand that, it's easy to make them behave. Trivial, even.
The basic principle is, I lend you money, and after an agreed-upon period of time, you return it with interest.
And what if I don't?
Well, you have to.
But what if I don't?
This is why I don't lend you money.
Lord Davos, we have an armada to rebuild and ports to repair.
We have. These projects will begin as soon as the Master of Coin and Lord of Lofty Titles provides funding.
The Master of Coin looks forward to helping the Master of Ships, but first he has to ensure we're not wasting coin, or soon there won't be no more coin.
Anymore.
You're master of grammar now, too.
Well, life's been good since you hacked them off, Your Grace. And it's 4 less fingernails to clean.
Fewer.
Pardon?
4 fewer fingernails to clean.
And how many ships do you have? The ones still afloat, Sir Davos, not at the bottom of Blackwater Bay.
32.
And how much wheat and barley and beef and pork do you produce on Dragonstone to feed your 4,000 men on your 32 ships?
My lord.
I'm not a lord, Sir Davos Seaworth. You would not be either here in Bravos. Thieves are not rewarded with titles.
Well, strictly speaking, I didn't do the thieving. That would be the pirates. I just moved what they stole from one place to another. This is the payment that was demanded by King Stannis for my crimes. I consider it an honest accounting. He's an honest man, and he's your best chance to get back the money you've sunk into Westeros. Which is a lot, I imagine. Wars are expensive.
The war is over.
As long as Stannis lives, the war is not over. Who's the real power in King's Landing?
Sir Davos.
Humour me.
Tywin Lannister.
How old is Tywin Lannister?
67.
67, and when he dies, who's in command? A half-grown boy, the product of incest. Cersei Lannister, a queen whose people despise her. Jaime Lannister, a man best known for killing the king he was sworn to protect. When Tywin's gone, who do you back?
That is a problem for another time.
Begging your pardon, I think it's a problem for now. There's only one reliable leader left in Westeros.
What do you think of her?
Who?
I believe you know of whom I speak.
I think she has a good heart.
A good heart? I've noticed you staring at a good heart.
There's no time for that. I saw the Night King, Davos. I looked into his eyes. How many men do we have in the north to fight him? 10,000 less?
Fewer.
What?
Speaking of good hearts,
Jon Snow is alive because the Lord willed it.
I loved that girl like she was my own. She was good, she was kind, and you killed her!
You're not dying today, Sir Jorah.
And I vow that you shall always have a place by my hearth and
meat and mead at my table.
Oathkeeper.
One not particularly innocent dwarf. You were the only one who didn't treat me like a monster. You were all I had.
Grand Maester, it is my theory, based on my years of work on the Costly Rock sewers, that clean water leads to a healthier population.
The Archmaester has done some research on this subject, and it turns out...
The strong live and the weak don't.
Find the best builders and set them to the task.
Oh, speaking of builders, all the best brothels burned down. The Master of Coin is willing to fund reconstruction.
The Archmaester is less than enthusiastic about the salutary effects of brothels.
Well, I imagine he isn't using them properly.
I think we can all agree that ships take precedence over brothels.
I think that's a very presumptuous statement.
I once brought a jackass and a honeycomb into a brothel.
What the king dreams, the hand of the king builds. Or, so say the kings, the hands, and the lords who wish to be hands. The lowborn put it differently. The king eats, and the hand takes the shit. The fact is, most kings hate ruling. We shouldn't blame them. Their only qualification is blood. So, naturally, they're wary of a seat made of blades. Far better to find other men to rule in their stead. But how should a king select his hand? Family? One king chose his brother, Prince Maegor, a warrior who was proud and arrogant. Maegor agreed to marry the High Septon's niece to unite the faith and the crown, but then secretly wed a second wife, a Valerian ceremony artfully combining bigamy and heresy. When word of it got out, the king was forced to exile Maegor and choose a Septon as his new hand. But the damage had been done. The king had trusted in family, and his brother had set off a rebellion that would claim his rule and his life. Strength? As little more than a boy, Sir Criston Cole replaced the legendary Sir Rayam Redwine on the King's Guard and soon rose to Lord Commander. But knights only know one way to settle disputes. When Prince Aegon's father died, Sir Criston slit the throat of an advisor who objected to Aegon's ascension over his aunt, the anointed heir. His actions so pleased the new king, Aegon, second of his name, that he appointed Sir Criston as his hand in the ensuing civil war, called the Dance of Dragons. Neither Sir Criston, nor the king, nor even the Targaryen dragons would survive it. Perhaps it's no surprise that the wisest king in the history of Westeros made the wisest choice for his hand. The son of a lowly blacksmith, Septon Barth had few options for advancement in the world, and even fewer after his family gave him to the faith as a child. But as royal record keeper, Barth impressed the king so much that the king, defying all his high-born advisors, made Septon Barth his hand. 40 years of prosperity ensued. So much did Barth accomplish that many lords and commoners credited him with sorcery. No other explanation could they accept for a man without blood or skill at arms, because what Barth had was rarer than both: a sharp mind. Years later, the realm had no sharper mind than Lord Tywin Lannister, hand to King Aerys Targaryen, or, as history remembers him, the Mad King. He saw assassins and plots in every shadow, heard whispers in silence, and burned men alive. But his greatest madness by far was driving away Lord Tywin. The Mad King then cycled through every mistake of his ancestors. Soldiers, toadying lords, and at the end even an alchemist, perhaps to save the crown's growing expenses on wildfire. Unfortunately, it didn't save his crown or his dynasty. The new King Robert chose his foster father, Lord Jon Arryn, as his hand. The wisest decision Robert ever made. Not that it had many rivals. Too bad it proved so fatal. Lord Arryn was a man of honor from an ancient and proud family. But honor is no shield against the corruption of the capital, as Lord Arryn's successor, Ned Stark, learned as well. Perhaps the hand of the king is a flawed idea. Westeros needs a ruler who can rule, who builds what he dreams himself. A king who can't govern his kingdom is no king, and a hand who shits what another man eats is an arse.